a lot of skills on her own in functional medicine. She has her own group. She's been doing telehealth for a long time, and she's really helping other doctors do it now at a time where other doctors are forced to have to do stuff not in office face-to-face. So I asked Dr. Julie if she would come on and just talk to our group and just give some tips and us just have a conversation, because we're brand new to getting into telehealth. Truth be told, I did my first telehealth appointment yesterday, and I'm going to set up a whole bunch for next week. And I just figured that we should connect and talk about this topic.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Todd. I appreciate it. And yeah, telehealth is what we all need to be doing right now. And yeah, I've been doing it for quite a long time with functional medicine, and it really lends itself to that type of model. We had been seeing the patients in the office and drawing blood and doing functional medicine in the office, but my reach has gone beyond my geographical area that they could come into my office. So we started ordering labs and doing things where they could either do it in their house, which is really helpful now through urinalysis, stool, finger sticks. And then we would do Zoom calls with them, which is HIPAA compliant. And now all those parameters have gone out the window with that. But you set up the schedule, and it's really, really nice. You can do face-to-face. And I think you had a little webinar with Dr. Perry Barnhill, and he told you about the codes because insurance companies are letting us bill for it. I've always done cash for these. It's really good to be able to set the parameters of the timing that you have for that appointment for the patient. They know when they're on, when they're not. The technology has made it so easy for patients to utilize it. And we can share a screen. I can let them take screenshots of whatever it is that we're doing. They can ask questions. They can have, the really cool thing is most of them always have their family members on, the husband, wife, or the mom and the kids. And so they're all learning and improving their health together. So I think it's a great, great benefit that you don't typically have in your in-office setting with at least going over the functional medicine. But the things that you've come up with are amazing as far as movement.
Yeah, well, so let's just talk a little bit more about the mechanics real quick of how you go through your sessions. Like how long are they? What do you use for it? Now, are they all self-paid? Are you doing any health insurance through this?
Yeah, so it was all self-paid before, but now that the codes have opened up, we're definitely billing the insurance for the ones that I'm in network with. We're billing for those. So with the functional medicine, we are setting up half-hour appointments. I would give about 20 minutes time, face-to-face with the patient. And then I would use that last part for my documentation, sending them recommendations, whatever it is that I needed to do. We are setting it up on Zoom. We send them a private Zoom link, and Zoom now has all kinds of protections. There's password protection in their link. When you send the link, the patient clicks on that link, that password's automatically embedded in that link, so you don't have to worry about people coming into your meetings. I know they had stuff on about that. They put them in a waiting room first. You only admit who you want in there, and you can remove people real easily. You can turn their camera on or mute, whatever. You just have a conversation, kind of like you and I are having right now.
Right.
And you set it up, and you can get right to business because there's no other distractions.
Right. Yeah.
You just go in like, let's take a look at what we got going here. So it's really, really easy when it comes to that. It's easy for my staff to schedule it for me. We have a scheduler that we just switched over to. It's called vCita, and you can choose, do you want a face-to-face meeting, you want a telehealth meeting, or do you want a phone call meeting? And you put whatever it is. Like if I put telehealth, it will send the patient a Zoom link in their appointment reminder. It will text it to them, and it will send it to them in an email. So it's super, super simple.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Yesterday I did my first one with a patient of mine, and something that I did is I started with her. I had a Word document opened up. I put her name, I put start time, And I got started, and then I had our 12-week transformation, which is our whole online exercise library that we use for Move Now University. I had that up on my screen, and then I was logged in remotely to my clinic under her file, so I had all of her stuff ready to go. And so as we start talking, she has her home journal in front of her, which is part of our home care program anyway. She has her home journal in front of her, and I reviewed her stuff before I got on the phone with her or on Zoom, and I just said, okay, so it looks like here's where you left off in your last appointment. Here's what you can be working on for the next couple of weeks. Let's run through that. Let's map out something for you to do for this next week. And then next week, let's talk again, and we'll see how you're doing, and we'll go to the next step. And then all I did is I went inside of our 12-week transformation. I used a snipping tool that I use called Snagit. Okay, it's like $50 and you have it for a lifetime. I use Snagit all the time. That's it. You take like a screen capture and drag it over to a Word document, and then you can write on it. You can do stuff, and it's just so quick. So I went in, started cutting stuff out of different exercises that I was telling her to do. And it wasn't just exercises. Inside the 12-week transformation, at least for all of our Move Now doctors, there's content that teaches them about health and like concepts. So like I would talk to her about a concept, realize that she wasn't super aware of it. And I said, oh, there's a video talking about that. So I took a screenshot of what section it was, put a big arrow next to it, dragged it over. I had a list of assignments and stuff she could watch, and then a list of protocols. And then I finished up this Word document. Granted, it was the first time I had actually done an appointment. I was planning to keep it to 30 minutes. Took about 43. But on the same note too, she got a ton of value out of it, and also her setup with insurance too. It's that all the time's billable. And so now I have to go chat with my billing manager who did a bunch of research to figure out what codes and things were approved with which insurance companies, because it was different with every single insurance company. Some are using the code for telehealth. Some are just saying use your normal evaluation and management code. Some are saying they even cover exercise codes. And so in her case, they cover all of them. So chances are in that visit, it'll be reimbursed, not exactly like if she came in person, but not too much less. So at a time right now where so many chiropractors are devastated that they can't go into their office and see patients at all. There's some that are just shut down, not doing it at all. And then some are just drastically pulled back in volume. Like in our practice, we're probably between 30 and 40% less in office. So we've cut our hours down. And so then I just opened up more time to do all these different telehealth. And I had our staff put together a list of all of our patients who haven't been in for the last several weeks. And I'm just going through and calling them and reaching out to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know. So this is something you've done this for a long time, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been doing it for years. And one of the things is that it's really important to keep your patients engaged. Like it's great that you're getting your staff to call and get them set up and get them going for you, because that's what we need right now. The other thing we do is we have a little Facebook group just for my patients, and I've had that for a long time, but a lot of people have added now, and I've been engaging them. I've been giving them immune boosting tips every day, get your sleep, exercise, different things, little tips that they can have just so that they know. I'm going live in my little patient group. I'm giving them webinars. Part of our functional medicine, we have a big marketing portal where I have 24 different topics that are all patient related and with the PowerPoints. And so we did Toxic Truth about sugar. I'm going to do one today on eating for your genes. And then just to continue to keep them engaged in their health, because I mean, this is the biggest time that people need to be engaged in taking care of themselves. And we need to lead that and really train them what they need to do rather than just sitting in their house and be afraid. We need to empower them that there are things that they can do to take care of their body, especially now. Is more important than ever. Not that it wasn't important before, but I think the message is getting through a little bit to the general public that, yeah, you got to take care of your health, and we need to lead that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. I think that there's a lot of things that are happening now that are gonna carry over after this pandemic is over. This is setting some of the precedents of, I think, what some of the future healthcare is going to look like. And I think for us chiropractors, if they continue to allow us to do this after everything's over, there's so much that we can help our patients with at home. But the thing that you have to have, like you have with functional medicine and we have with functional movement, but a lot of doctors just don't have either, is resources to be able to send them to. Things that when you can do a screen share, you can pull it up and you could show it on your end and they have access to it, and you can show them how to navigate through stuff. And especially I'm sure as I start doing these more with our older patients, it's going to be so helpful because it's like this handhold process. And from a standpoint of, yeah, it's more time for me one-on-one with a patient than I'm used to. But honestly, I'm doing it on downtime. I'm doing it on times that I'm not in the office anyway. I'm sitting here at home. I'm wearing a sweatshirt. You know, it's like I'm just sort of comfortable doing it. And it's so easy. And then I step out of my office, I go hang out with my family, and I come back in, do a couple of appointments. So it's really something that I think is quite nice, and it's going to be a win-win for everyone.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. Hey, Todd, could you tell some of the docs who might not know what your program is a little bit about how you're doing that?
Yes. And I'm actually pulling up all the links, and then on the back end here as we're talking. I'm not trying to look too distracted as we're going through this, but
no.
Let me pull this up on the screen and see how we can arrange this. And I'm gonna hide you. I think we can still hear your voice if I hide you. I just think if I hide me, well, I don't know. Here, I'm gonna hide you, and let's have you say something. Well, I can hear you on my end. I'm not sure if we can hear you live, but I can hear you on my end. Okay. Cool. Okay, so this is the patient page. So it's what they see. I'm putting this in right here. So patient page. This is what they see. Okay. So this is a two-step funnel that we created inside of Clickfunnels, and I'm sharing this inside of a training portal that we built, which a lot of our doctors already have access to it. If there's anyone in your group who wants access to it, they can reach out to me. I can show them how it works. This all revolves around a home mobility kit. You have to have your patient have some kind of tools they can use at home so that you can reference protocols and they have the equipment they need to be able to execute the protocols. So this is, I'll start here. This is an exercise library that patients get access to. And there's a whole process where it's a 3-step process of mobility, stability, and then reinforce. That's what the best research out there shows as far as results for a patient, as far as how to engage in a exercise strategy or a functional movement strategy. And then what we did is made it just really, really easy where the doctor can analyze the patient through a virtual video movement assessment. Okay, that's something that we also made. And then based on what we see as the doctor, and we go through and give you the training to show you how to analyze it and pick what protocols you think the patient should engage in, they then have a list of 6 different protocols. The 6 protocols utilize the tools in the home mobility kit to be able to follow along and execute that exercise. So for example, let's say they have shoulder dysfunction. Patient just clicks on that little shoulder dysfunction thing, and then there's a video, and they watch it.
Hi there, and welcome to our Move Well corrective exercise sequence for the shoulder. So first thing we're going to start with is our trusty double lacrosse ball. So we're going to be working on the pec and the anterior shoulder.
And so then it just walks them through. It's a
follow along
video.
Loosen up.
Starts with mobility.
About a minute or so.
So go to a foam roller.
All right.
Goes to some J-King stuff.
You don't want to be activating those.
And then it goes to some stretching. And
this one, what you're going to do.
And then it goes to some pattern reinforcing, which would be impressive.
Like 2 reps here.
Okay. And so it's a follow along video. They literally watch it, they go through it. And then let's say as the doctor, you're like, well, I want to give them a couple other protocols too on top of that. Then we have a very basic library: neck, shoulder, or neck, thoracic, shoulder, posterior chain, trunk, glute, other. You click there in shoulder, and you can say, well, I also want to give them this exercise to do in this one. And so you just plug that in this little journal that you also give them, which is also inside of this program. So this is the whole training for a program that we built 2 years ago, which now this MoveWell mobility kit members area is going to be that much more important for telehealth, or what we're calling telechiro. And so this last module right here, we just added telechiro training. And this is not done yet. We are building the plane as we're flying it because it's that new, but I'm putting these trainings together. I have all the content gathered. So there's an overview video. There's going to be, this is where we're going to put that 2-step funnel in right here. I'm going to do a video about communicating to patients. This is the video I did last week. This is why you and me are hooking up now, is because I talked to Perry. And this is a video I did with Perry.
It's a telephone. It's kind of like a, at least for that telephone code call, it's a one.
And he's going through and talking about how to do the billing and coding. And so anyway, so that's all the training behind it. So now you know the behind the scenes stuff. And here, there's one more thing I want to show you too. Give me 1 second. I want to show you how we do a video functional movement assessment. Okay. This is pretty cool how this turned out. This is like so fresh. It's just inside of my Vimeo account. I haven't even put this anywhere yet. So check this out. This is
Everybody, Dr. Todd and David, you're going to see the MoveWell Quick Check video. So what this is going to be is you're going to watch this video, and first you're going to see David go through the movement. I'm going to give him instructions on how to perform the movement, and it'll flash on the screen and say, now it's time for you to follow along. You'll still hear me talking with the instructions. You'll see him do the movement a second time, and that's where now it's your turn to then perform the movement. It's going to happen for all of these movements back to back. But just make sure that your computer is set up in the room that you can back up far enough away without having to move a whole bunch of stuff ahead of time. So before we get started, make sure you get situated so that your computer is in the spot where you can back up a good 10, 15 feet if need be. Also, you want to grab a stool or a chair with no arms, preferably. If you only have a chair with arms, you can make it work too. It's just a little easier if you have a chair without any arms. And last thing is you need a floor to be able to lay on. Okay, so that's it. So with that said, let's get ready to do the MoveWell Quick Check. Okay, the first movement is going to be checking the cervical or the neck patterns. So the first thing I'm going to have you do is you're just gonna put your feet together. You're gonna bite down with your teeth. Hands can just go to your side comfortably. And I want you to turn your head to the right as far as you can. And then turn your head to the left as far as you can. Now for this and all the movements, you can come back to center. For this and all the movements, if there's any pain, you need to note that there's pain during the movement, and then we'll continue on to the next step.
And so now at that point, now the patient moves.
So the first thing I'm going to have you do is you're just going to put your feet together.
So basically each movement is repeated so the patient can see it once, and then it happens a second time. And then while you're doing this on a telehealth visit, you're recording the screen with Snagit. So Snagit is that one thing I'm talking about. You can take video on it really easily. You just highlight the page, you hit record. You're recording it. Takes about 6 minutes. Now when they're done, you play back the recording, you go through it with the patient, you explain what was dysfunctional, why it was dysfunctional, and then you assign the protocols after that. So here's some of the other fancy stuff. So now this is what we send to the patient. It's right here. How to still make progress at home during a global pandemic without having to put your health on hold. So what we're doing is sending this right here to all of our patients. We're sending mass text messages, emails. I'm calling them and then referencing that link. And then this is just a video that the patient watches.
Hey everybody, Dr. Todd from Gonstead Spine and Wellness. And we're really excited to bring you something at a time of crisis where we can still take care of you in your home. Now, you've probably heard of telehealth. We're calling this telechiro, but we are approved to be able to do this as well. I want to tell you a little bit about it. And then if you want to know more, you can click on this button over here that says, I want to know more, and we'll fill in all the details for you. Details left.
So now this whole 2-step funnel right here is something that In our program, I'm sharing this whole template. All you got to do is make your own video. So all you do is make your own video right here, and then when the patient clicks, I want to know more, and of course, you swap out your logo, you put your phone number, and then it goes to the second step. And then the second step is where you give more details, and then you connect it to Calendly, and all this stuff. I'm building all the training for all of this, so it's really easy to put together. It'll take someone who's never done this before probably maybe 2 hours to set everything up. Okay, and now it's set up for everyone. And then this one right here, they watch the video, they click on schedule appointment, goes into your Calendly, you set up your Calendly, you have times, they click on the time they want, and they just put their name, email, phone number, and some questions prior. They schedule the event, and then they're also instructed to call the clinic so that our staff then fills them in on expectation for their out-of-pocket expense. We have pricing for health insurance and then also for self-pay as well. And that's something that we built that we're sharing with you. We're going to put that right inside of here. So inside of here, I'm going to put a button where you click that button and it pulls that whole funnel into your Clickfunnels account. So there's a software called Clickfunnels that for us, it's like it's something we use so much. It's like our $97 a month Clickfunnels fee is like a no-brainer because we have so many different funnels built in it. But even if you just used it for this one thing here, that's how you host this, okay? But all of that is customizable to you. And then a link that I built for chiropractors to explain more of the mechanics of how this works. So this is not what the patient sees at this point. This is now for you as the doctor. This talks about how we made it a 5-step process when you do these appointments, because something that I saw all these different chiropractors immediately jump on board and say, here's how you do telehealth, here's how you do it, here's the platform. And my question was like, what do you do on the appointment with them? Like, how do you engage them? How do you get them to even care? And especially if they're paying out of pocket, why are they going to want to pay out of pocket? How is it be so beneficial that they're willing to pay, $50, $60 for a certain amount of time when they're used to just coming in and seeing you for an adjustment? That's all you've ever done, So basically that's that's all the steps that we built so far. There's a little bit more training we're putting in there, but all of this revolves around a home mobility kit. So all the training I put together and everything in our mobility kit platform, for everyone who's watching this right now, I'm not charging for it. I'm not charging anything for it. I'll put all the training videos in there. It's all free, so you get it. Now, you have to buy kits.
Yeah.
They're out everywhere. We have them stockpiled. So we were prepared for this. We have about 700 plus kits. We have another 1,000 on order that are coming in soon. We go through them pretty quick. Like for us in our clinic, it's just part of our process. So we usually have about anywhere between 30 to 50 kits out the door every month. And doctors who see more new patients or who are starting this and then grandfathering existing patients into the process. You take, how many new patients do you see per month? I know right now we're in a global pandemic, so your new patient load's probably down, but life will go back to normal at some point, and so you take how many new patients you see per month, and then a grandfathering in process. This is your grandfathering in process right now, is where you tell your patients, we have a solution for you. And so here's the solution. Are you interested in still making progress when you can't come in person? And then, of course, for all the practices who do functional medicine or have any level of nutrition, that's where your stuff is a no-brainer 365 days a year. Truth be told, it's something that we could always improve on our end because we're doing very little. And at some point, we could just clone you and have you come into our clinic and do it for us. That'd be even better.
But, we'll have to work on that.
Yeah, right. Cool. So
I think it's amazing, and I think it's a really, really great way to get the help to the patients. You have beautiful platforms that you built that makes it so easy for the docs, and putting it in that Clickfunnels and Calendly. I mean, those are two really simple things to be able to do, just to be able to give content, because I know a lot of docs are creating groups and trying to keep in contact with their patients, reaching out to them, calling them, talking to them, whatever way they can to help support them. but you need to give them care. And we're so used to our hands-on, adjusting people, that this is an excellent way. Even for me, a lot of people are afraid to go and get their labs done right now. They don't want to go to the lab draw station. So if they're not going to do health kits, we need to give them something that they don't have to leave their house, that they can absolutely improve their health. And when they come back to see us, when this whole thing's over, you're not starting over from ground zero on how messed up their spine is.
Yep, for sure. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Julie, for jumping on and sharing what you're doing, and I'm sharing what I'm doing, and we're just trying to see how we can collaborate and be a resource for other chiropractors, because I know that you have a group of doctors who've been following you for a long time. We have a group of our doctors, and there's a lot of people that have never heard of either one of our stuff. And either way, I know that Julie is very generous with sharing information and helping out. And in here, all the training we're doing in here, we're doing for free. So just reach out, let us know how we can help. I'll put a link in the comments too. And then is there a way that people can get in contact with you if they have more questions?
Yeah, if they have more questions, they can message me on Facebook. Also, my website page is drjuliemclaughlin.com. They could email me, drjuliemc@gmail.com. And so, yeah, just reach out, and I'm happy to help if you guys have any questions. Thank you so much, Todd. I think it's awesome to be able to collaborate, and we all pull together, and everybody's going to get through this.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much. And we will hook up again soon, I'm sure.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.